Victoria's famed Golden City, Ballarat, a part of the national network of ABC television.
Rightio. So this is a bit of an impromptu just wait for this to finish and catch up. Yes, this is a bit of an impromptu stream, as I've got lots of work to do. It's a gorgeous day outside, beautiful sunny day, but yeah, there's too many of them at the moment and I'm not getting any work done. So this is a bit of a strange one. I managed to get in 2 of these in the space of a couple of days really, and they're completely unrelated to each other. And is that better? No, I'll bring this over and see if we can get a better shot of this. There we go. Yes, so yeah, this is the smaller of the 2 sets. I've got a HMV E43D, which I've also done, but I'm really puzzled by the main filter cap. It's a 2 capacitors in one, and it seems that the center pin on it, there's 3 pins on the actual capacitor, is going to the can itself, and that is live. So I'm having a teleconference with with 2 of the club members tomorrow morning, and I want to get this one semi done. And yeah, so yeah, it's really puzzling design, this, and but it seems to be so that the choke has a lower voltage on it, and that lower voltage sort of is designed to stop it burning out. Now this one hasn't been touched at all. The other one had been butchered. There was stuff everywhere, so it took me a great deal of time to work out what exactly was going on with it. Yeah, so this one is working, as I said in the comments or the description. It has it's out of a radiogram, sort of yeah, probably their entry level one at the time. Now I thought it was in good condition, but it's got a bit of rust here, it's a little bit dirty, but other than that, because it sits in the radiogram that way, so the dial faces up, and so yeah, but you can see the actual chassis is like new. Now this was sold to the poor person as being fully restored and working perfectly. It wasn't. They have done 1 or 2 little things. There's a resistor across the choke. I assume it's the choke. Yeah, I think it is the choke. And actually this is going to be hard to test, because the output transformer is down at the person's house. It's got a beautiful 15-inch speaker in it. Really nice roller speaker. 15-inch jobby. So what I'm going to do is start to recap it. Today I'm probably only going to do it till, where's it, 3 o'clock now, so I'll probably go to 4:30 here. We'll see how we go. I have been out for a long walk this morning and everything like that. There isn't a cloud in the sky. It's going to be like this for the rest of the week. But overnight it does get very cold. It gets down, well, a couple of the days they're predicting 0 in the morning. So yeah, this is a bit of a problem. This is the turntable takeoff. So yeah, and this is the main power lead. I don't know whether this has been replaced or not. I would think it has, but it's been done a long time ago. You can see how dirty it is, and the plug on here is quite, mid-70s maybe. So it's reasonably compliant. I don't know whether we'll replace that or not. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is this big one. There's one underneath this shield here, and then the double cap, which is this one here. That is underneath this contraption here. It's, yeah, you can see, oops, that's the strap off of that Philips portable I did at Christmas time. I still haven't got that down to the repair shop to let him have a go at it. And it is, yeah, it's probably broken in the middle or something. Getting off topic. Yeah, so you can see here, I'll bring this down, it's got cardboard on the top of it to insulate it, and it's got a cardboard sleeve around the actual main can body. There is another cap down, filter cap down here, so 2, 3, 4 and 5 electrolytics, and then quite a number of normal, in inverted commas, caps down there. So let's get started on this one. I'll turn the soldering iron on. I'll try and do this half of the radio today, if I've got enough caps. I've run out again of 0.047s. So yeah, I'm going to have to do a bigger order with Carl. So I'm doing quite a few of these, and I've got 3 1950s car radios to do too. So lots of work coming in. Some of it is quick and out the door straight away, and other stuff like this is more problematic. Yeah, so this is all corroded on here. So obviously something has come down through the top of the radio, through the dial area, and then dripped into here. It's not too bad on this side. Maybe it's just moisture or something creeping up. Because that's around that hole there. And this, it's as if something was in there. In fact, I would say that's where the no, maybe not. It's in this end, isn't it? Wonder what was in there. Yeah, interesting. So let's take this one out. So it's a 16, and here's a 16, and it's going to go this way. That's the positive. So it's going to reach, maybe. Yeah, I should better get away with that. Now this is going to create a big stink because the dust is sort of in strange places because it's mounted sideways. We'll just turn this up. And 380. So I had it set on 340 or something like that. So I must have been doing transistor work. Yeah, this is going to stink. Isn't this melting? No melting action on this. So let's get a bit of flux onto it, or even better, a bit of solder. And heat this up from this side. Even that's not working. Interesting. So we'll bring this up to 400 and we'll see if that gets it. Another 20 degrees. Mind you, I've got the wrong tip on this. Should really have the chisel tip. Is it going to do anything? What are they used for this? It's just not melting. Oh, there we go. Finally. And we can get this out if we bend it a bit. But we'll leave that there. Boy, that stinks. Okay. Now, these are the old ones. Yep. So we'll chop this bit off. As you can see, this is pretty dusty, but it's not, doesn't look like anything has been in here. This looks a bit sus, but don't think that's anything. Well, it might have been a little bug eating it or something like that. There's definitely been no mice or anything nasty in here. Okay, we'll do the other one as well. It's going to be big. Now this one does go to ground, so we're going to have a bit of heat soaking from that. Okay, right. Have we got a solder sucker here? Good. Get the solder off of this one. Bend this over. Come out. Good. Okay. So positive at this end. Yep. Negative at that end, going to ground. And so get this up over here. And we had oodles of length on this, which is good. Do we have to get anything into anything from nearby? No. So I'll get to the comments in a second, Farm Tech. I'm just doing this out of the way. Need a bit of solder on this. Nothing like a good hot iron. this is melting too much. I've got the iron too hot. Come on, go up there. That'll work. And then I'll do the other one, the end of it. Okay. And that was clever, wasn't it? Stuck that up underneath there. Might have to dash backwards and forwards to get some tools. Right, let's... Have I got anything here? That wasn't very well planned, was it? We use these. We've got a horrible... Well, it's the only... Well, we've got a couple of hardware shops here, but this is... Bunnings is the big monster of a thing, and they've got virtually a monopoly on the consumer market, at least. I know the other chain might attend, which are all independent people. This was dumb, wasn't it? Can't get this up through here. I have to bend this. I have to chop it off a bit. See if that'll work. That's better. Go down there, out the way. I'll turn the soldering iron down so it doesn't doesn't actually turn to water. Yes, Kim, yeah, I'm reasonably well. I went to the hospital on Monday and had a couple of little tests and spoke to the surgery department or the surgeon or whatever, and she said that it's probably not cancer, but they're going to do a biopsy anyway because the scan misses quite a bit. There's parts of the prostate which are hidden behind other organs. So yeah, but they're concerned about the growth rate and the high PSA and all that sort of thing. My hip, that's to do with the operation itself and how they had me set up or what have you. So I had an epidural, and that means below the waist it was numb, and be, yep, that looks safe. Yeah, so it was a bit of a good outcome. And then on Thursday I had the physiotherapist, and she did about 5 minutes manipulation because it was just an introductory discussion and things like that. And yeah, that seems to have done a bit, although it's still quite sore. This looks like a 0.1. No, it's a 0.25. Okay, so we'll get a 0.22 and we'll pop that in. So 0.22. Getting got plenty of these. Yeah. So it seems I go through a lot of 0.047s and 0.1s as well. Okay, so, and this is really the dirty pair. And not polarized, that's easy. Again, this is on a terminal thing. That's come out quite easily. Come on, melt. There's nothing else attached to that, so there is a wire. Yeah, that's all right. So that looks cleaned up. Now, yeah, it's really quite tight in here. Now that one goes to that one, and this one, where does that one go? Well, that goes across over there, so we don't need to worry about the one underneath there. This one can go straight in the bin. As you can see, it's quite disgusting. But it's not that bad. It's just filthy dirty. No, I'm not going to throw that in the bin. I'm going to put that in a lunch bag type thing. Yep. So, yeah, I like to show the clients or the customers what I do, or what I've done, I should say. Yeah. So that was that one, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Now we'll go across to there. So we'll put it there, and we'll put a bit of heat shrink on it. Too long. Good. Now, has that got another? Okay, so have we got a multimeter here? Not really, but I have to use this Phillips one. I was looking for a multimeter with probes on it. This will do. I just want to check continuity. Does this one do continuity? No. Well, it does, but not in the way I want it to. This one is ancient. It will do. So, function. Diode. There we go. Just want to check that we're getting continuity through it. Yep. And it's better. Right. So we're just going to check the resistors. So it's green, black and green. So it's going to be 5 something or other. 1.2 meg. Is that right? Don't think so. Yeah. 50k exactly. Yeah. So 1 and 5 zeros, yep. So that one's okay. This one, I haven't got the value on. Right. Let's pop this one in. I'll do it the other way. that's going to be good. Even though the holes in these are quite large, it's often quite difficult to get another component through, even if there's just one other thing in there. Yeah, these are crappy Bunnings special things. Some of the Trojan tools are okay, but a lot of them are not. Right. Yeah, I'll face that up so next person can see what is in here. And at least most of these are on terminals, which is a good thing. Don't need to do that much. I can't find my screwdriver demagnetizer or tool demagnetizer, and everything is now picking up everything it shouldn't. Come on, in you go. I know there's a wire in there. Yep. And how did that get that way up? What do you mean, shame on me? Is it a joke or something? Length the house and then out, it's going to this one, which is high up on a shelf, and then going to the other one. So yeah, so the buffering isn't at this end, and it looks quite smooth on my phone here, although you can probably blame Telstra for that with what happened during the week. One of the time servers went out, and it was due to the fact that it only runs for, was it 1,016 weeks or something ridiculous like that, and then it resets back to its original time. and they've had this since 2006, so it's 20 years old, and it reverted back to 2006. So all the Telstra network, that these Technico or Pi took over Technico. So these Technico molded caps are diabolical because they melt and then you can't read what's stamped into them. Is that a 0.1? Yeah, actually this one is pretty good. Hasn't melted. All the writing on it is clear as a day, although it is beginning to crack. So yeah, sorry about that. I don't know quite why you're buffering so much. It's definitely not this end. Just watching it, and yeah, it's not buffering on my phone. Or is it? It is, isn't it? It is buffering. Yeah. Wonder what's causing that. It wasn't buffering the last 2 times I did a stream, and nothing's changed. In fact, I haven't even really turned the computer on. Oh, I know what it might be. I'll just... Yep, it's just popped up on the computer. I wonder. Yeah. So where is that? Have we got? Yeah, okay. So let's have a look on the phone and see if that comment has come through. Just typed in there, and it has. We're going to get that. My hand. Yep. Okay. We seem to be back working again. Okay. So hopefully if you've stuck around, it should be working. Just plug the phone in. Okay, good. I need to... Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Yep. I've turned the VPN off. It seems to be interfering, so I'll have to remember that. It's not set up to automatically start, but it seems to have done that this time. Okay, where were we? This big one here, this 0.25. See how long I can go. So 0.22 again. This is going to be a bit of a nightmare because the connection is underneath this, and that is, oh, actually it's connected to the same thing. Okay. So green, black, yeah. Okay. So how many things have we got in there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 resistors go in there, and the capacitor. I don't know whether you can hear the idiot next door. No, I didn't finish the Roberts. Because I've had too many appointments and mucking around, and I was a bit sick, and then a lot of work came in, and yeah. Right. Oh, that wasn't an electric shock. It was something, a nerve in my hand. This hasn't been on for weeks. Okay, so have I actually got anything for a 0.1? I'll just check on the 0.1 situation. I don't think I do, but I might have 1 or 2 left. Yeah. Right. Actually, this is a 630 volt. And I do have one of the yellow ones. So I might use the yellow one. I don't know whether you can hear. The guy next door he buys wrecked rotary engine cars, and then he takes the exhaust off of them, or he does them up, then he takes the exhaust off of them and puts a super loud thing on them. He's really annoying. So I'm sure the neighbours will love him today, given how nice the weather is. And there's what? How many wires go in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, plus two resistors plus this big capacitor. Jeez. Really? Right. Well, I'm going to have to snip that one off. Right here. And then just do a hook and loop on that one, I think. So that is the one on the left hand side. And we've got this mess up here. We've got two wires, two capacitors, and these small picofarad one in there. So there's a bushfire. Yeah. I think bushfire means something very loose at the moment, because it's the middle of winter here and it's about 10 degrees outside, even though it's perfectly clear and beautifully sunny. And as I was saying earlier, it's going to be that way all week. Yeah. So we'll just snip that off there. So this is an example of a reasonably good moulded cap. Technico one. Don't know whether you can read that. Australian brand. Were bought out by Pi. And yeah, most of the ones in most radios are these Ducon ones. Of various sizes. There's also Chaneks, which are green, and they're fairly old. And then you get into the 60s and you get Plessy ones and all sorts of things. Because Plessy bought out Roller here. Roller had a big factory in a place called Richmond in Melbourne. And it's now a big shopping centre with a big IKEA on it. Probably the biggest one in in Australia, actually. I think it's the biggest one in Australia. Right. So let's do something with this. So that goes that way. Tie these together. And trim this bit off. And is it going to reach? Maybe not. Yeah. We'll get away with that. I put that there. Just about on the 0.22. I might be able to move that around a bit. Yep, so I'll put this one in first. Get this in here, make a hole for it. I can support that. Put that down in there. Yeah, we're just about going to get away with that. Bring that right up. We'll blend this in here. Okay. And that will be hot for a moment, so I'm going to have a bit of a drink. If I've got any left. Okay. Let's do this one. Might have to go and get the other pliers actually. Maybe these ones. My ancient ones from decades ago. They're quite useful because they get into small places and they've actually lasted really well too. Bought these about 40 years ago. They're really good quality. It's good. I don't know what brand they are. They are really good quality. They've never failed. And I've also got these ones, and I always used to pinch my skin down in there These are Japanese ones from quite a few decades ago. And these I've had for decades as well, and they are looking pretty tired on the blade part, but they still work to a degree. So yeah, they're pretty good. And these, I don't know where these were made. Probably, I think they were Japanese again. Yeah, it is pretty tightly packed, but it's not impossible to work on. I've worked on other ones which are tighter. Tying this in a bit of a knot, actually, almost. And close this up again, or close this up, not again, but close that up. And these ones are pretty good. These ProTech or Pros Kits ones. I think that is Ultronics, one of the retailers here in Australia. I think it's their branding on them, but these are pretty good and they do last quite a while. And I had to go and get another couple of pairs of these, and the new catalogue came out, and they weren't in the catalogue. And when I went to the shop, and because they've got two shops in Melbourne, one in the southeast and one in the north. And I went to the southeast one because that's very close to where we have our meetings. And they didn't have any in there. And so I went to the other shop and they had lots of them in there. And I said, well, they're not in the catalogue anymore. In the new catalogue. And he looked it up and he said, you're right, they're not in the catalogue, but they're still available on the computer, and we've just ordered them in. So that was lucky, because they're still stocking the Pros Kit brand. Yeah. So this is an HMV, and I've got two of them to do, coincidentally. And I want to get this one done as much as possible before tomorrow morning, and we have a meeting, Zoom meeting or whatever, and we're going to have a look at one of the main. I've changed this one up here, but there is a double cap here. You can see that, and it's got two capacitors in it, 16 microfarads each, I would imagine. Let me turn this cardboard around. No, that one's stuck a bit. And yeah, it's a bit of a mystery as to how it's wired up. But we think we've got it worked out. And it's got the positive on the center terminal on it. And then the two outer ones are not the negative, but the active, not active, you know what I mean. And yeah, it's weirdly wired across the choke and all sorts of things. And they're both coincidentally much the same, although this is only a medium wave one, and the other one is a medium wave short wave one. So the other one is quite a bit bigger, and it's got, so it's probably about that big. I'll bring it in a while, and yeah. So yeah, so we'll do this one next, and the yeah, so it's really quite weirdly wired up, and the body of the can, this part of it is going to be live. So this is a 24 at 525 volts. I think the one in here, which is the same as the other one, is 2 16s at 525 volts. Yes, it's his master's voice. Yeah, we'll do this one. If we can see what it is. It's another 0.05. So we can't do that one. This one's rated at 200 volts. This one's 400 volts, but yeah. So I need a 0.47 there, 0.47 there, and I just don't have them. Another one here. And that's a 0.01. So we can do this one, and then I'll go out and get the other radio and show you that, and I'll try and work out what this one is. It's probably a 10 or something. Yeah, this 0.01, I should say. And also go to the toilet. And that's a 0.02, so we can do this one as well. Okay, so we'll get a 0.1 and a 0.2. This should be 0.022. Yep, 223 and 103. Yep. Yes, I'm changing all the caps on this. These paper caps, after 70 odd years, will be bad, and definitely the Technico ones. I'll take this can off after I've done these two. Now that one's going to be difficult to get to down in there, but this one is reasonably straightforward. Okay, so they both go to ground. He's mucking around with his car again. And he does exhaust for other people as well, which, yeah. I don't even know if he's does racing in the Mazda club or something like that. I don't know. He's bloody annoying. So he does it right next to the fence, which is probably only, a metre away from my house. So all the noise goes right through the house, and that's getting very hot. Really got to find the demagnetizer. No, I'm going to go back to it. I'll do it maybe tomorrow night again or something like that. I have to see how I go with these two HMVs. There we go. And so let's have a look. So I'll put this one in. Did it come from there? Did come from there, didn't it? Yeah. That's interesting. It didn't melt the that. Right. So I'll put this in here. These two just go to ground. Yeah, not much defeats me. I'm pretty tenacious with things. Is that right? Wasn't concentrating then. Maybe that does go to ground. But why would... Bugger. Wasn't concentrating. I'll be back in a minute. I'll go and get the circuit diagram for the other one. I'll be 2 shakes of a lamps. What's it? It's beginning to get quite chilly out there, so I So this is the radio. Excuse the coffee marks on it. Yeah, it's next to the coffee machine where I work. So yeah, but it's only the cover page. So it's got all the stringing diagram and the valve layout and all that sort of thing in it. So there's the circuit. So you can see down here, it's quite a strange layout. Because there's the choke and there's the two things, and they go across the rectifier. So somewhere in there is the center positive of the. I mean, these are tied together inside the cap can. So I would imagine then that goes off to the rectifier, and the that must be the 6 volts or something, is it? No. Or so the transformer is there. And then there's this other cap down here which parallels that one, and then there's 3 resistors here which go off to something else. So it's quite confusing. Now, and yeah, this one, well, they're 2 separate circuits, but they just both go to ground. I mean, these 2 go to ground. This one goes to ground. So yeah, it's just the way it's wired up. And yeah, that's that. So we'll take that one out, and we'll, pretty sure it went in there. It's funny how the marker on is still there. Pretty sure it went in there. Okay, so let's get these out. Bring that up, right up to 450 degrees. Trying to melt the wires. This has got some rubber wire in it too. I mean, these are not in bad physical condition, but you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to be bad. So we'll bring that up there. Now, we'll chop this one off down here. And we'll make this roughly the same length. Yeah. But I can't really. Oh, I can, I guess. But I'm fairly sure it went in there. You're probably 5 minutes behind me now. Right. So if that's going to stay there, put that onto there. I'm going to put a bit of flux onto that. This is a bit of rust on that. If I can open this, this is always jammed up. No, doesn't matter. Don't know why I'm using these Bunnings ones. They're not particularly good. Just shows you don't need great tools to do this. Just something. Of course, better tools are better, but they're sort of not necessary. Here we go. Right. Okay. And this one will be tricky until we get that out. In fact, what I might do is get that out now. This is going to be difficult. That was loose. That's not very good. Yeah, tiny little screw there. Well, this one was loose too. Okay. Yeah. There's people working next door. Okay, so that is grounded to that. Is the other camera better for this? Yeah. can see that. I'll bring it over a bit. Yeah. So this is soldered to this and was held in by these little tiny screws. And they were loose. So yeah, that wasn't effectively grounding very well. And then I'll show you this setup. So you can see this center one here, and that goes to the outer can, and that is live according to what we discussed last night and looking at the schematics. And this one goes off somewhere else, and yeah, this one goes somewhere else, but I don't know whether this is wired exactly the same as the other one. Get this washer. So I'm just going to change this one, and we got the value on this one. Still, it's probably a 0.1. I can't read that. Yeah, 0.1, 200 volt. Yeah. Excuse me. So bend this right out the way. And it's an 8 microfarad, this one. So I don't know what this one is. That looks really small compared to this one. ET10769. ET1015. I did come across a chart with all the ET type numbers on it. And their values. Okay, let's get this one out. Yeah, it's really corroded at this end. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Yeah, it's really corroded at this end. It's got all green and stuff there. So this has been damp. It's been out in a shed, and the dampness has got in. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, I don't know if that one's any good. Might have to do use this on something else, maybe the signal generator or something. See if we can get away with this one. Can we get there to there? I think we can get away with it. Otherwise we're going to have to play all sorts of games. We'll do this one at this end. Still on 450 degrees, so be careful, Andrew. What should I do with the... Oh, there we go. Glasses, multimeter, and the pliers all on top of each other. Really need my glasses on just in case it spits at me or something. So that one is in there. Oh, actually I was going to chop these off, wasn't I? That's not even bent in. Right. Okay. Usually use much heavier snippers for this, but they're out in the kitchen. Right. Have I got the... might need to clean that up a bit. Much easier with the other pliers. These are awkward. Right, said Fred. I'm going to go from there. Yeah, just going to get away with it, I think. Right. Pin that out of the way. Better put that Yeah, around there. Okay. Come on. That's better. And the other end. Put a bit of heat shrink on that, I think. Now we're going to do this. It's dangerously close to that pin of that. Yeah, that would be all right. Right. In fact, can we get that over there? Yep. Let's hope they don't interfere with each other. So these mica caps are prone to interference these days, and they're also beginning to break down. It's what's known as silver mica disease. Okay, let's go back to bend this one out the way temporarily. Go back to this one. And Uh-oh. Oh, bugger. Just burnt through the plastic on the other capacitor. We'll see how that goes. And what I might do is just put some resin over that. Don't think I actually destroyed it. Just burnt the plastic case. If there's any problem with it, I'll replace it, but yeah, that's good. And yeah, I think that's about as far as I can go today on this one. What time is it? 20 to 5. Yeah. I don't know what to do with that one. It just looks like it's earth to me. We've got that shield over it. I don't know why they've done... Well, I guess it's to stop interference. And motorboating. Where did I drop that down in there? Come on. Come on. It's sort of magnetized, but it's not, and it's not picking it up quite. So, there we go. Odd, that one. Yeah. So 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, or sorry, 0.05, 0.05, and 0.05. Yeah, so those three caps, which you can't see, I'll bring it back to the other camera. Yeah. So 0.05 don't have, 0.05 don't have, 0.05 don't have, and I really don't know what's going on with this double capacitor down here with the 3 terminals on it, and I'm going to leave this until last. I really don't know what this is, and it's exactly where it might be a 25. Don't know what that one is. It's down here. Again, it goes to earth. Where does it go after that? It goes into the driver amp, and then the 6V6 follows it. Yeah. It'll be a different type of valve to this one, I suspect. It's a 6U7. I'm even taking the valves out of this. Come on. I can go till 5 o'clock here, so that's another 15 minutes if necessary. So what is this one? Looks like a 6U something. 6SJ7. Is it the same one? No. So this has got a different valve line up to the other one. Yeah, you can see where it's been sitting on its side. So that side is perfectly clean and mint, and this side is pretty dirty. And of course the numbers are in the mud. Yeah, so you can see down here, just get my glasses and so I can see the screen to see what you're looking at. You can see, yeah, that's perfect. You can see the mica there. That's a mica plate, piece of mica as an insulator. And on the other capacitors that are beginning to make horrible crashing noises, where silver mica is prevalent, silver mica disease, you get the silver sort of breaking down on the mica, and then you get gaps in it, and then you get sparks across it, which leads to crashing and all sorts of things. Yeah, so I don't know what this one is. It's a real mystery. I'm going to have a look, wash my hands, and then I'm going to have a look in my book of HMV circuits, and we'll see if we can find anything similar. Radio Museum is okay, but you've got to know what you're looking for on that. Whereas this, I can flip through and sort of quickly and have a look at the different circuits and different cabinets and things like that. Be back in a couple of minutes after I wash my hands. Okay, I'm back. Right, well, that's what I was going to do, wasn't it? Get one of the books. It's AWA. So, the club I'm in, or the society, I guess, to make a snobby title, is these things. And you can see Electrosound was a brand of radio, and they went bust, and they were taken over by Saba or something. I think it was Saba that took them over. But his master's voice, National Panasonic, Pi. So we'll have a look at the HMV. So Healing was a big company here. HMV. So let's have a bit of a squeeze. In fact, I'll turn this soldering iron off. Bring it back out a little bit. HMV shortwave healing. Okay, so that's one of the better ones. Not a C1. Got a couple of similar things to that out in the garage waiting to be done, and I've got a really nice what brand is it? Oh, AWA. And it's in a wooden cabinet, and I've started to redo the cabinet on it, and it's coming up really nicely. Doing it with shellac. Yeah, that's the other one. Six valve. K1. Pretty sure it's not that one. In two, in one. It's a stereogram. Yeah, the back on it is missing its labels and all sorts of things. 4 valve, is this? No, that's a portable radio. A couple of those. Five valve. There's a dual wave, so it's not this one. Got this type 42. XM5, that sounds a bit modern. Looking for one with a 6V6 in it. Stereo one. No, it's not that one. And Chrysler. No, we don't have any circuits for this one. I'll have to do a big search on Kevin Chant's website. Yeah. Okay, so it's coming up to 5 o'clock, which is roughly 2 o'clock. 2 hours, I should say, not 2 o'clock. So it's roughly 2 hours. Yeah. I'll do a stream tomorrow night. As I say, we're going to do a conference in the morning over these, and a person was going to ask if anyone had electrocuted themselves doing this on one of these HMV radios. So yeah, I'm really reluctant to muck around with this down here. On the other one, it's been mucked around with anyway, and there was a great big capacitor across the choke. So yeah, I don't know what they've done there. That's sort of an interesting coil, actually. That's really interesting. It's on its side, and the terminals don't come out the bottom, they come out the side of it. I can see why they put a shield there. Yeah, that would have been to prevent this being upset. Interesting, very interesting. Anyway, that's enough from me today. Thanks for putting up with the jumpiness of the stream earlier on. Now that we know that's happening, and I think we've worked it out, so I can just make sure that the VPN doesn't start on when the computer starts. And yeah, so I'll speak to you tomorrow with any luck. Have a good I guess it's Saturday morning over in England, isn't it? Over in the UK. So have a good Saturday and a good Saturday night, and I shall speak to you tomorrow. Let's turn this off. And that's about as much as I can do, really. My back is beginning to hurt. Yeah. Okay, thank you, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow. I might go back to the Roberts. We'll see how the day goes. I might be finishing off this and the other HMV. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.